Formal actions of the town board must be authorized by motion or resolution of the town board. No motion or resolution shall be brought to a vote unless it has been presented to all members of the town board at least 48 hours prior to the opening of the meeting and on the town website. In emergency circumstances, however, all the above requirements may be waived if a vote of a majority of the town board present, provided there is a quorum. C, every motion or resolution must be seconded before discussion of the town board or the supervisor calls for a vote. All motions and resolutions shall be recorded in their entirety in the minutes of the town board meeting. As a member of the town board, the supervisor may offer to second motions and resolutions. D, town board members must recuse themselves from participation in discussion or voting on matters that involve a conflict of interest and must place in the minutes their reasons for recusal. Abstention from a vote shall only be permitted for reasons of conflict of interest and not for political considerations. 8, public participation. The board recognizes the value of public participation but reminds the public that it is a privilege. Please address the board with respect and civility. 9, adjournment. Following resolutions and open agenda period, the town board meeting shall be adjourned by motion in memory of residents deceased. If the above rules of procedure should at any time be in conflict with statutory law, then statutory law prevails, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Board Member DeSclafani?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 218, meeting dates. Whereas under Section 62 of the town law, the town board should adopt a resolution determining the time and place it shall hold its regular meetings. Therefore, be it resolved that the regular meetings of the town board be held on the first Monday of the month, unless noted in the Town Hall of Shandaken, New York, on the following dates during the year of 2018. January 2nd at 6 p.m., February 5th at 7 p.m., March 5th at 7 p.m., April 2nd, 7 p.m., May 7th, 7 p.m., June 4th, 7 p.m., July 2nd, 7 p.m., August 6th, 7 p.m., September 10th, 7 p.m., October 1st, 7 p.m., November 7th, 7 p.m., December 3rd, 7 p.m. I move its adoption.
I second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Board Member DeSclafani?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 318, Town Depository. Whereas under Section 64, Subdivision 1 of Town Law, the Town Board should adopt a resolution designating a bank or banks or trust company in which all town officials shall deposit all monies coming into their hands by virtue of their offices. Therefore, be it resolved that Key Bank of New York and Community Bank, N.A., be and hereby are designated as depositories for the town of Shandaken for the fiscal year 2018, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Board Member DeSclafani?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Board Member Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Supervisor Stanley?
Yes. Resolution 418, official newspaper, whereas under Section 64, Subdivision 11 of the town law, the town board should adopt a resolution designating the official newspaper of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the Daily Freeman be and hereby is the official newspaper for the town of Shandaken for the year 2018, and move its adoption.
I'll second it.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Board Member DeSclafani?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yep.
Can I just say the names?
Yeah.
There you go.
Resolution 5-18, mileage allowance, whereas under Section 12, notes of Decision 32 of the town law, a town officer is entitled to be paid a mileage allowance fixed by the town board. Therefore, be it resolved that all town officers and employees be paid the IRS mileage rate of .545 cents per minute. When does,
Per minute?
that'd be good, per mile when discharging their duties as town officials. I move its adoption.
A second.
Alba?
Yes.
DeSclafani?
Yeah.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Blarkum?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 618, expenses for the Association of Towns annual meeting. Whereas under Section 102, notes of Decision 10 of the town law, towns may incur obligations for compensation of town officers. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board hereby authorize the payment of expenses incurred to all town officers attending the annual meetings of the Association of Towns in an amount not to exceed $1,000 each, with $200 in advance, with all expenses to be supported by voucher and receipts, and Be it further resolved that in the case of the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board, a maximum of 3 will be allowed to be attended. And move its adoption.
I'll second.
Alba,
Yes.
Fiscal-Fine,
Yes.
Storms,
Yes.
Van Barger,
Yes.
Stanley,
Yes.
Resolution 718, American Legion and Veterans of Foreign Wars. Whereas the annual budget approved by the town board provides monies for patriotic observances and veterans organizations, and whereas it has been procedure to pay this money to the American Legion and Veterans of Foreign Wars for said purposes. Therefore, be it resolved that the sum of $1,500 each be and hereby is appropriated for rents of rooms and patriotic observances for each of the organizations for the year 2018. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Alba,
Yes.
Fiscal-Fine,
Yes.
Storms,
Yes.
Van Barger,
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
I'll go back to the regular next month, really.
Yes.
Resolution 818, Program for the Aging and Senior Nutrition Program. Whereas the annual budget approved by the town board provides monies for the program for the aging and the senior nutrition program, therefore be it resolved that the sum of $2,000 be and hereby is appropriated to the program for the aging. And be it further resolved that the sum of $2,000 be and hereby is appropriated for the senior nutrition program. And move its adoption.
I'll second.
Alba,
Yes.
Fiscal-Fine,
Yes.
Storms,
Yes.
Van Barger,
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes. Resolution 918, attorneys for the town. Whereas the town board may pursuant to town law, section 20, subdivision 25, employ an attorney to give it such professional service and legal counsel. Therefore, be it resolved that the supervisor be empowered to utilize the services of Keller, and Javen as general counsel of the town board, Greenwald and Doherty LLP as labor counsel, and Jacobowitz and Gubitz LLP as zoning and planning counsel. And move its adoption.
The second?
Alba,
Yes.
Fiscal-Fine,
Yes.
Storms,
Yes.
Van Barger,
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
Resolution 10-18, Town Auditor. Whereas the town board appoints all employees and officers of the town pursuant to section 20 of the town law. Therefore, be it resolved that the firms Sickler, Torchia, Allen, and Churchill be and hereby is reappointed town auditors and accountants at an allowance up to $20,000 as allocated in the 2018 budget. I move its adoption.
Second.
Alba,
Yes.
Fiscal-Fine,
Yes.
Storms,
Yes.
Van Barger,
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
Resolution 1118, elected officials' salaries. Whereas under section 27 of the town law, the town board shall fix the salaries and expenses of elected officials for the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the annual salaries of said officers be and hereby are fixed and determined for the year 2018 and shall be as follows. Supervisor Robert A. Stanley, $36,500. Councilman, person, Gail Alba, $9,000. Peter DiScopani, $9,000.
Oh,
That's okay.
No hurt.
Kevin Van Blarken, $9,000. Faye Storms, $9,000. Highway Superintendent Eric Hoffmeister, $50,000. Clerk Collector Assessor Joyce Brand, $36,500. Assessor Chairman Peter DeMonica, $35,500. Assessor David Shannon, $5,500. Assessor Janet L. Klugowitz, $5,500. Justice Tom Crusade, $19,000. And Michael Miranda, Town Justice, $19,000. And move its adoption.
Second.
Second.
Alba,
Yes.
Fiscal-Fine,
Yes.
Storms,
Yes.
Van Barger,
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes, your name's on the bottom.
Resolution 1218, Deputy Supervisor. Whereas under Section 42 of Town Law, the Town Board may create the post of Deputy Supervisor. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board approve the appointment of Faye Storms to act as Deputy Supervisor in the absence of the Supervisor without compensation for the year 2018. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Alba,
Yes.
Fiscal-Fine,
Yes.
Storms,
Yes.
Van Barger,
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you should recruit him.
I want to see if you backed off.
Resolution 1318, Supervisor's Clerk. Whereas under Section 29, subsection 15 of the town law, the town board may authorize the supervisor to make a designation for the position of full-time clerk to the supervisor. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board approve the appointment of Lynn Stewart to serve at the pleasure of the supervisor and receive $12.50 per hour when discharging the duties of said office, not to exceed $23,531 for the fiscal year 2018. Move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barcom?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes. We can table 14. Have a motion to table 14, 18.
I make that motion.
Have a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1518, Deputy Highway Superintendent, whereas the Superintendent of Highways has requested the town board establish the office of Deputy Superintendent of Highways. Therefore, be it resolved that Neil Grant be reappointed to this position without compensation for the year 2018 and move its adoption.
A second?
Alba?
Yes.
Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barcom?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 16-18, Secretary to the Highway Superintendent, whereas under Section 20, Notes of Decision 9 of the Town Law, the Town Board shall appoint all employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the Highway Superintendent, that Kara Grant be reappointed to serve as Secretary to the Highway Superintendent, and to serve at his pleasure and to be paid $11.75 per hour when performing the duties of said office, not to exceed $24,115, with $1,000 additionally allotted for overtime for the fiscal year 2018. I move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barcom?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 1718, Deputy Town Clerks and Tax Collectors. Whereas under Section 30, Subdivision 10 of the Town Laws, the town clerk determines the designation of deputies. The town board shall determine by resolution the powers and duties of such deputies, and whether or not such deputies shall be compensated by the town. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board reappoint Jacqueline Gulametti as full-time deputy town clerk, town tax collector, and be paid $15.20 per hour, not to exceed $29,106 for the fiscal year 2018, and to perform the duties of the town clerk, tax collector in her absence. And be it therefore resolved that Patricia Hine be reappointed as part-time deputy town clerk, tax collector, and be paid $14.75 per hour. Excuse me, not to exceed $11,287 for the fiscal year 2018, and to perform the duties of town clerk, tax collector in her absence, and move its adoption.
I'll second.
Alba? Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barcom?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yeah.
Resolution 1818, Records Management and Information Officer. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of Town Law, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Joyce Grant be and hereby is reappointed Records Management Officer and Public Information Officer, and hold office at the pleasure of the Town Board, and receive no compensation for the discharge of said duties. I move its adoption.
I second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barcom?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 1918, Chairman of the Board of Assessors. Whereas under Section 22B of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate the appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Peter DeModica be appointed Chairman of the Board of Assessors for the Town of Shandaken and receive an annual salary of $35,500 for the fiscal year 2018, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barcom?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes. Resolution 2018, Assessors Clerk, whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, Notes of Decision 9, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Grace Grant be and hereby is reappointed Assessors Clerk to assist in the clerical duties of the assessors, and be paid $12.55 per hour, not to exceed $23,910 for the fiscal year 2018, while discharging the duties of said office, and move its adoption.
I'll second.
Alba?
Yes.
Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barcom?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 2118, Justice Court Clerk. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, notes of Decision 9, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Wendy Helm be reappointed as Clerk of the Justice Court to assist in the clerical duties of the Town Justice Court and be paid an annual salary not to exceed $27,810 for the fiscal year 2018 while discharging the duties of said office. I move this adoption.
A second, but I'd like to amend, it's Wendy Lockwood. She changed her
Oh.
name back to.
Okay, Lockwood?
And Alba?
Yes.
Steve Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Barker?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 2218, Police Commission. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, it is the duty of the Town Board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Theodore R. Byron, William Lundberg, William J. McGrath, and Henry J. Strauss be reappointed to the Police Commission for the year 2018 and move its adoption.
Second.
And Alba?
Yes.
Steve Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Bill Barker?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 2318, Town Police Department Chief and hiring of full-time officer. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate an appointed officers and employees of the town. And whereas the town currently employs 3 full-time officers and is contractually required to maintain 4 full-time officers. And whereas part-time officer has been recommended by the police commissioners to be hired full-time. Therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to the town law of the state of New York, Section 21B, the town board hereby appoints the following individuals as full-time police officer to receive compensation as indicated. Kyle Hassett at $20.68 per hour. Be it further resolved that Chad Story be and is hereby reappointed police chief for the town of Shandaken Police Department and hold office at the pleasure of the town board and receive an annual salary not to exceed $21,500 for the fiscal year 2018 while discharging the duties of said office. And I move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Steve Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Bill Barker?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 2418, Ambulance Chief, Officers, and Pay Rates. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board shall designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. And whereas in order to address increases in New York State minimum wage laws, which exceed existing raises for employees and addresses in the current contract, therefore be it resolved that the following personnel be appointed to the Shandaken Town Ambulance at rates not to exceed the following for the fiscal year 2018. Ambulance Chief Brendan Whalen at $12,000 per year, Deputy Ambulance Chief Richard Muller-Liley at $5,000 per year, Equipment Manager Dennis Frano at $5,000 per year, Line Officer Ernie Long Sr. at $5,000 per year. And that as provided under the contract, said employees shall serve at the discretion of the ambulance chief and town board. Be it further resolved that the following pay rates shall apply to the individuals in each class plus longevity pay. Ambulance driver at $10.40 per hour, ambulance technician at $11.40 per hour, ambulance paramedic at $17.30 per hour. And move its adoption.
Second.
And Alba?
Yes.
Steve Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Bill Barker?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes. Halfway there. Resolution 2518, Alicia Water District. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the Town Law, it is the duty to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Alfred Peavy, John Kilb, Don Bucher, George Blank, and Nick Formont. Yes, sir?
George Blank isn't on there.
George Blank, off.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, make it blank.
that's funny. Therefore, be it resolved that Alfred Peavy, John Kilb, John Bucher, and Nick Formont be appointed to the Phoenicia Water Committee for 2018. Be it further resolved that Alfred Peavy chair this committee and move its adoption.
I'll second.
And Alba?
Yes.
Steve Scafani?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Bill Barker?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 26-18, Superintendent of Phoenicia Water District. Whereas under Section 20 of the Town Law, the Town Board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Richard Riccadella hereby is reappointed Superintendent of the Water the Phoenicia Water District, and hold office at the pleasure of the town board and receive an annual salary not to exceed $21,750, to be dispersed once each month and expenses as allotted in the 2018 budget as pursuant to law while discharging the duties of said office, and be it further resolved that the town board, upon the recommendation of the water superintendent, hire laborers as the water superintendent deems necessary within budget constraints. I move its adoption.
Second.
And Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Discipline?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barken?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes. Entertain a motion to table 2718. Do
Yes.
you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So 28.
28.
Yeah. Resolution 2818, Pine Hill Water Committee. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the town law, it is the duty to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Peter DeMonico, Lowell Smith, Richard Shadle, and Michelle Wooten be appointed to the Pine Hill Water Committee for 2018. And be it further resolved that Michelle Wooten chair this committee, and move its adoption.
Second.
And Alba?
Yes.
Discipline?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barken?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 2918, Superintendent of Pine Hill Water District. Whereas under Section 20 of the town law, the town board should designate all appointed officers and employees to the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Donald Clark be and hereby is reappointed Superintendent of the Pine Hill Water District and hold office at the pleasure of the town board and receive an annual salary of $25,200 to be dispersed once each month and expenses as allotted in the 2018 budget as pursuant to law while discharging the duties of his office. And be it further resolved that the town board, upon the recommendation of the water superintendent, hire laborers as the water superintendent deems necessary within the budget constraints. And I move its adoption.
Second?
Alba?
Yes.
Discipline?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barken?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 3018, Pine Hill Water District Bookkeeper. Whereas under Section 20 of the town law, the town board should designate all appointed officers and employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Patricia Heinz be and hereby is reappointed bookkeeper for the Pine Hill Water District and be paid an annual salary not to exceed $600 for the fiscal year 2018. And move its adoption.
Second.
And Alba?
Yes.
Discipline?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barken?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes. Motion to table 3118.
Second?
I'm asking for a motion.
Motion.
Thank you. In a second, Gail. It's all good. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Resolution 3218, Planning Board member. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the town law, it is the duty of the town board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Giovanna Cal be reappointed to the Shandaken Planning Board with a term to expire on December 31st, 2024, and move its adoption.
Second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Discipline?
No.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barken?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution appointing chair and vice chair of the planning board, whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the town law, it is the duty of the town board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Donald Brewer be reappointed as chair of the planning board and Kathy Jordan be reappointed as vice chair of the planning board for the year 2018. And I move this adoption.
Second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Discipline?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barken?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Zoning Board of Appeals, Resolution 3418, Zoning Board of Appeals member. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the town law, it is the duty of the town board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Mark Lodi be reappointed to the Zoning Board of Appeals with his term to expire in December 31st, 2022, and moves its adoption.
I'll
Second.
And Alba?
Yes.
Discipline?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Van Barken?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 3518, resolution appointing chair and vice chair to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Whereas pursuant to Section 20 of the town law, it is the duty of the town board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Keith Johnson be reappointed as chair and Rolf Roos be reappointed as vice chair for the Zoning Board of Appeals for the year 2018, and I move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Fiscal-Finley?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Sam Martin?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes. Yeah.
Resolution 3618, appointment of municipal code officer and zoning enforcement officer. Whereas pursuant to town law, section 20 and section 138, and pursuant to sections 116 through 63, 116 through 64, and 77 through 11 of the Code of Town of Shandaken, municipal code officer in the town is responsible for the enforcement of zoning, floodplain administration, building and fire prevention / protection ordinances, and rules and regulations. Therefore, be it resolved that Warren Tutt be reappointed as municipal code officer to be paid at $16.50 per hour, not to exceed $30,000 on mileage while on town business for the fiscal year 2018, while dispensing the duties of said office, and move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Fiscal-Finley?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Sam Martin?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes. Resolution 3718, Building Department Secretary. Whereas under Section 20 of the town law, it is the duty of the town board to appoint all employees of the town. Therefore, be it resolved that Ann Riccardella be reappointed as Building Department Secretary with an hourly rate of $11.85 an hour, not to exceed $22,590 for the fiscal year 2018, and to serve at the pleasure of the Planning Board, Zoning Board of Appeals, Municipal Code Officer, Zoning Enforcement Officer, and be accountable to the town board while dispensing duties of said office, and move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Fiscal-Finley?
Yeah.
Storms?
Yes.
Sam Martin?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 38-18, resolution appointing Parks and Recreation Board member. Whereas pursuant to section 20 of the town law, it is the duty of the town board to appoint all boards and commissions. Therefore, be it resolved that Marty Gales be reappointed as Parks and Recreation Board Chair with her term to expire December 31st, 2020, and shall serve without compensation at the pleasure of the town board. Move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Fiscal-Finley?
Yes.
Storms?
Yes.
Sam Martin?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 3918, Historical Museum Board and Museum Director. Whereas under Section 20 of the town law, the town board shall designate all appointed officials and employees of the town, and the town board wishes to appoint a town historian. And whereas the town board also recognizes the Town of Shandaken Historical Museum maintains a board of directors. Therefore, be it resolved that Kathleen Myers be appointed historian for the Town of Shandaken for the year 2018, without compensation while performing the duties of said office. And be it further resolved that Richard Bennett, Richard Deere Ayers, Brian Grant, June Lamarca, Rusty Moore, Mary Lou Stapleton, William Andrews, and Ken Herdman are hereby recognized as being the Town of Shandaken Historical Museum Board, with Mary Lou Stapleton being the chair of the board. And be it yet further resolved that Kathleen Myers be reappointed as museum director, and that she receives $11.50 an hour, not to exceed $11,200 as per the 2018 town budget, while dispensing duties of said office, and move its adoption.
I'll second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Fiscal-Finley?
Yeah.
Storms?
Yes.
Sam Martin?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Resolution 4018, Ethics Committee. Whereas pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Code of the Town of Shandaken, Article 3, Section 20-7, Establishments of a Board of Ethics. Therefore, be it resolved that Richard Lovelace, Helen Morelli, and Chad Story be appointed to the Ethics Committee for the Town of Shandaken and to serve at the pleasure of the Town Board following Chapter 20 of the Code of the Town of Shandaken, and that move its adoption.
Second.
Alba?
Yes.
Fiscal-Finley?
Yep.
Storms?
Yes.
Sam Martin?
Yes.